Welcome to today's conversation, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monica Kamundi, aka Magical, and I change people's lives. I change people's lives by offering financial advice and financial solutions. In today's conversation, I'd like to dive into the conversation about life cover. A life cover is a kind of a cover that pays a lump sum to your beneficiaries in an event of your demise. And so I'd want us to look at what are the benefits. Why do we need a life cover? In life, we have goals. These goals could be personal or family goals. Family goals are those goals that you are doing together with other members of your family. And it could be a business, it could be a project you're running, and you want to ensure that that project or business runs even in your absence. And so a life cover comes in handy to ensure continuity of that family goal, because the lump sum that is paid out can be used to further enhance that kind of a project. So you do not have to die with your family goals. The second thing that a life cover does is that you can use it as an inheritance. The Bible says a wise man leaves inheritance for his children and his children's children. So what you do is you take a life cover and distribute amongst your beneficiaries. You can say, I'll give child A 50%, child B 30%, child C 20%, depending on the people you want to leave behind the inheritance to. You distribute, and that is exactly how the insurance company will distribute the proceeds in your absence. You will agree with me that times have changed. Resources have diminished over the years. We do not have enough land as our great grandparents used to have to leave behind for their families. So it's just about thinking outside the box and saying, hey, look here, I have a life cover, and in an event of my demise, this is exactly what you need to put into use and empower your lives. The other thing a life cover does is that it's an investment. A life cover is a great investment for your family, and actually, it is the most guaranteed investment because it cannot be contested in a court of law. Most of the other assets we have can be contested because someone can go to court and claim maybe they were part and parcel of the business, or maybe they are your children. So a lot happens when someone passes on. So you want to protect your family by having an investment that is guaranteed. And how is the life cover an investment? I want us to take a case scenario. Actually, it's an investment that you cannot compare with any other. I want us to look at a case scenario of a lady called Jane Doe. Jane Doe was born in, let's say, 1990. So 1990 to now, this is how many years? She is 35 years. According to the law, you need to pay premiums for your life cover up until your demise or up to the age of 80. So let's assume all factors held constant. Jane Doe lives up to the age of 80 years. So if we say 80 minus 35, it means that she has 45 years to pay for her life cover. Okay, follow with me. Let's do the illustration to see how much she will be paying. Assume she's taking a life cover of 5 million shillings. For a 5 million cover at the age of 35, Jane will be required to pay 3,119 shillings per month. If we convert that into an annual premium times 12, she will be required to pay 37,428,000 per year. So we have said that if all factors are held constant, she will pay for the next 45 years because she's now 35. And so if you do that calculation, she will have paid 1.684260, around 1.6 million Kenya shillings. And we said that she's taking a life cover of 5 million. So do you understand how a life cover becomes the most, the most superior investment? You are taking a life cover of 5 million. You have only paid, for instance, 3,000 for the first month, and you pass on. Your family will be given the 5 million. If you do not pass, or if you live up to the age of 80 still, you will not have contributed the 5 million. You will have contributed only 1.6 million. And hence, a life cover is an investment you cannot compare with any other. I can do another illustration, but because of time, I will leave that for another session. So we've said about the goals, we've talked about inheritance, we've talked about investment. What else does a life cover do benefit us with? A life cover is beneficial because it helps you with tax relief. When you have a life cover, you are entitled to tax rebates or tax relief of 15%. And this is money you can claim when you're filing your tax returns. And you can use that money to do another investment on the side. You can use that money to plan for the education of your child. So in that case, a life cover becomes an advantage to you. The other thing a life cover does is that it helps you maintain the lifestyle of your family. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone has a certain standard or certain standards he or she has put in place for the family. There are certain schools your kids go to. There are certain places you visit. There is certain estates or places that you live in. If the breadwinner is no longer there, it means the finances are no longer there to ensure that continuity of such kind of a lifestyle happens. So with a life cover, your family is able to take the payout, invest maybe in a place that is giving them, assume even 10% per annum, or even in a money market fund. They put that cover amount payout in a money market fund, and they are able to fund their lifestyle or their monthly expenses as if you were there. So in essence, the life cover actually replaces you. You're not there, but you're there because the amount of money they will receive, if they put it in a place that is giving them some returns, they can still be able to take care of their lifestyle. Your children or your family does not have to change where they live. They do not have to change their schools and suffer the shame, because we're living in a society that is so judgmental. So you can protect your family's image by having a life cover. So ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, a life cover is important because it helps your family access the money or the estate money. Your estate simply means the money you leave behind in an event of your demise. And as you know, in Kenya, it's very difficult to run through the administration of the estate. First, you need money for the lawyers, you need to pay the estate duty. So assume this family had no other source of income. How will they pay the lawyer? How will they pay the estate duty for them to even be granted the letters of administration? You could find someone has money in the bank, but the family is suffering because they cannot access that kind of money until they go through the process, the legal process of estate administration. So the life cover then provides you with instant cash that you need to access or unlock the estate. So ladies and gentlemen, having said that, in a nutshell, the life cover gives you peace of mind, knowing that in an event of anything, the people who are dependent on you financially do not have to suffer because you're no longer there. Let's be wise. Let's protect the people we love. Bye bye.